Well, if we talk about biosimilars, this means that we are dealing with copies of a biological product, medicinal product, and it's important to realize that these copies are only considered as biosimilars if they have undergone a very thorough analytical characterization, comparative characterization relative to an approved reference product. So it's not just merely somebody who decides to make a copy, it needs to be a copy of an approved reference product. And because biosimilars, or as any other biologicals, are produced by living systems, so not in a chemical reaction vessel, but by living systems, the quality and the nature of the product also depends very much on the behavior of these living systems, of these cells that will produce. So that's also one of the reasons why a biosimilar is not an identical copy of the reference product, but there will be some slight differences. Biosimilars have been introduced since approximately 2005, 2006. The first ones in the European Union, and actually it was the European Medicines Agency who was the first to establish firm guidelines for the approval of biosimilars. And in the meantime, other countries such as Canada, Australia, Korea have also established their own specific guidelines in terms of biosimilar approval. The FDA is somehow a little bit slow so far, but I hope we can expect some official approved guidelines in the year 2015. They have some advanced drafted guidelines, but they are not formally approved yet, as to my information. For breast cancer, I think the main treatment, or one of the main treatments, is with trastuzumab, a monoclonal antibody. And if you look at the current approval of biosimilars, there have been quite some small biosimilars being approved, such as filgrastim and erythropoietin. But the monoclonal antibody, the first monoclonal antibody was infliximab, but that's in another area of disease that has been approved only approximately 1 year ago. So there are currently, as I understood, some developmental processes or some development of monoclonal antibodies that will be used or that can be used for treatment of breast cancer, such as trastuzumab, for instance, but this one is not on the market yet. There is definitely a future for biosimilars, but we should also not overestimate this. If there is a future for biosimilars, then people usually refer to the fact that biosimilars will be cheaper compared to the original medicine. However, we must say that if we look at the biosimilars that are currently on the market, the price reduction is only 20, 25 to 30%. So this hampers a little bit the fast introduction onto the market. Another point is that in general, biosimilars are not considered to be interchangeable or switchable. So this means that when you have a patient that is on therapy with a biological, if there is no particular medical reason to switch to another medicine, also not to the corresponding biosimilar, this shouldn't be done. So this also again hampers a little bit the fast introduction of biosimilars on the market. That doesn't mean that they will not enter the market. Any new patient is in principle eligible for therapy with a biosimilar or with the originator. That shouldn't matter.